Hey there people, Ryan Wyatt for High Point Music, and today we've got a pretty rock and blues that we're going to have a look at, You're Breaking My Heart by Harry Nilsson. So this is a request from a viewer. What we're going to do with this video is we're going to go through, I'm going to demo each section as we go through it and then break it down all for you. Before we get into today's video people, if you want to support us, hit that subscribe button. Support links are below. If you want to make a request like one of our viewers did today, all you got to do is get in touch via the comments. Or if you want my help one-on-one, all that information is below as well, we should say. All right, people, so with all that out of the way, let's jump in and get into this video. So the first part we're going to look at is obviously the introduction. So there's two parts to this introduction. There's a rhythm guitar part and a lead guitar part. So quite simply, with our rhythm guitar part in the intro, we have a G5 power chord. Okay, so the chord shape's flashing up on the screen there. First on the third finger on the fifth, fourth finger on the fifth on the D, and we're just quite simply going just 4 strums like that. So 3 and 4 and. Quite simple there. The next bit we've got is, so we've got a delayed bend there. So it starts on the F sharp on the 7th fret on the B string. So major 7th over the power chord and just really just bending up into that G really slow. So all right, so that's the intro, pretty straightforward there. So what we've got into the next section, I'm going to demo it for you. So 3, 4. Pretty groovy, bluesy, rock and roll based idea there. So again, we're using power chords here, and in our left hand we've got our first finger on the C, making this a C5, 3rd fret on the A string, our 3rd finger's on the 5th fret on the D string, our 4th finger is on the 5th fret on the G. Okay, and all we're doing is 1, and then our first finger's coming up to here, so okay, which is the 3rd fret on the E string. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's look at the next little bit of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's just your open A. Your first finger on the 2nd fret on the A string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First bit right there. Following on from that, we go. Okay, so all we're doing there is we're playing the exact same notes, except we're substituting our first chord from the C5 to the G5. So it's 3rd fret open, 2nd fret on the A string there. So I'll combine those two parts nice and steadily for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again 3, 4. Alright, so once you've got that, we're halfway there. So I'll demo it first. So 3, 4, so. So all we're doing there is just repeating the first bit. So we've got the first part, second part, first part. So you play the first part 2 times after the second bit. So nice and simple there, 4 bits to it, get those under your fingers. Next bit we're going to look at, people, is the chorus section. So it's modulating up to the F here, so. So that's the section, okay? So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool, so let's start off with this first chord. We've got our first finger on the 8th fret, 3rd finger is on the 10th fret, and our 4th finger is on the 10th fret on the G, respectively. And the rhythm with this F5 power chord is we're just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the first bit. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's just the first part of it. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Second part, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're just stepping that chord down chromatically there. I'll demo that again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's on the end of 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Nice one, you've got those parts under your fingers. Then we just make one more step to the D, which is there on the 5th fret, same chord shape. And what we're doing here is just applying that same strumming rhythm. So it's, I'll put it in context. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we take that same strumming rhythm or pattern that we use on the F up here on the 8th fret, and we apply that for one bar on the D5 down here. So once we've got that, so let's take it from our D5. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'll play that again. So we're switching up to our G5 here. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool, so effectively we're taking the same rhythm in which we went using that chromatic descending part and applying that to our G5 power chord there. So what I'm going to do now, people, put it all in context, show you all the whole part together, talking through it to really drill this one home for you. Alright, so from the F, so 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll do it again. 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Nice one. So once you've got that, just play through that part a few times if you need to, just to really get it under your fingers. And just with a lot of these video tutorials, just break it up into little bits. Learn one little part of the riff, like I've done today. I've broken it up into sections. Get that little section under your fingers before moving on to the next bit, because unless that's solid and really confident, the next bit's doesn't have much of a framework which to connect to. All right, people, so the next part of the tune that leads us to is, if you're playing through the tune, that just comes back to. So just interchanging between the first and second parts there. The next bit we've got coming up is a little bit of a guitar solo or a motive, a melodic motif. So what we've got here, so it's the first bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second half of that motive. Cool, let's start breaking this one down. So we're starting off with our first finger on the 5th fret on the B string. And we go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so E to G, 5th to the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the 7th note, we're sliding up to the 10th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once more, people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice one. Once that's comfortable, we're going to keep our first finger, we've just slid up to there, our first finger comes to the 8th, and we go, and we're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quite simple, just sliding up. So pull off and then a slide. So from here, nice one. Let's put that first half together. So and again. Cool, just go steady with those bends so you don't overcook them and accidentally slide back to your 7th fret like some people did on that example. All right, cool people. So once you got that under your fingers, we're going to jump in, check out the second half of that, which is... So all we're doing, the first bit's the same. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And instead of sliding up like we did on the first one, we're going to jump straight to our 10th fret on the B string and slide back to the 8th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then from that point, we're just going 5th, 8th, 5th, 8th, 5th, so. Okay, so. And then we go pull off again, and then to the 5th fret there. So the exact same part which we resolved on the first bit. Let's go through that again nice and steady. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool, and now we're going to round this up, people, by demoing the whole thing together. So, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and awesome. So that's the lead part of the motif out of the way. One more thing we've got to look at to finish up, people, is this cool little riff here, which is. Pretty straightforward here, just using some power chords there to fill it out. But that riff, starting with our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret on the A string, so 2 notes there on the C, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's just sliding your 1st finger, or not sliding, but moving from your 1st fret to your 2nd fret there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Once that's under your fingers, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 5th fret, back to your 2nd fret there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret, 2nd fret, like that. Okay, one more time. And then quite simply, to round this one out, we just transpose that up to the G. So like that, using the exact same pattern. So all together. All right, one more time, people. And then if you wanted to fill it out like I did before, you just take your C5 power chord and just apply that same strumming rhythm we've been using throughout the song. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that brings us to the end of today's lesson. So if you want to be like our viewer today who got his tune requested, put together for him in a video, all you have to do is get in touch via the comment section. I'm more than happy to have a look at those on a first come, first serve basis and get back to you people there. Again, if you want to support the channel, best way to do that, people, hit that subscribe button wherever it is. And also you can drop down for further support links. If you want my help one-on-one, all you have to do is go through the details below. And otherwise, people, practice hard, enjoy the lesson. I look forward to hearing from you all and seeing you all in future content. Until then.